If you have visited Florida for theme parks, you have probably been to this theme park called Busch Gardens Tampa. This is a wildlife zoo theme park mix, and in my opinion, it's the most overrated theme park that I've been to, but I had the great opportunity of experiencing all the roller coasters except for the kiddie coaster. But the newest coaster at Busch Gardens is called Phoenix Rising. This is the original B&M Family Inverted Coaster in America, and I'm not the biggest fan of this ride. So in this video, I'll be giving out my thoughts on Phoenix Rising. So what is the presentation like for the ride? So Phoenix Rising is located in the Pantopia section of Busch Gardens Tampa, which is towards the back, and when you first walk up to the ride, wow, the entrance is so grand. There is this overbank turn with the sign of the ride up front. So for the queue, it's surprisingly short. It's only a few switchbacks. So you enter the station and you notice there are screens, and it's actually synced up to the dispatch sequence, and it's really cool. So after waiting a bit longer, you enter the train, pull down your lap bar and dispatch, and that will lead us into the ride experience. So the train turns slightly to the right and it sends up the 80-foot lift tool. A cool thing about the coaster is that it features onboard audio, but I don't remember my one ride having it. So the train crests the top and traverses a weird drop, so it banks to the right while going upwards and goes back down while turning to the left. It's strange, but after that it's a turnaround. The forces here are very weak. Then you fly through two pillars into a tall bank turned underneath the lift hill. You don't get any forces here. Then the train banks to the left and snaps to the right, and that's a fun transition. You get some good laterals. Then afterwards is the overbank. It looks great in Pantopia, and it's pretty solid force-wise. Then the train stalls a bit on an angle and slowly rises into a helix. You get okay positives here. Then the train banks to the left and turns into your final brake run, and that concludes your ride experience on Phoenix Rising. And I think the ride is good, but not great, and a big reason for that is smoothness. If you have ridden the new B&Ms, especially the ones built after 2021, such as Dr. Tybalco at Fiesta, Pipeline at SeaWorld Orlando, Ironman at Dorney, you get the idea. They all have a very noticeable shake, more noticeable than their older coasters, and that is certainly the case with Phoenix Rising. At the valleys, it feels like pebbles in a blender at the lowest setting. It's very weird for a new coaster, but besides that, I like the layout, but the restraints dig into your thighs for the whole ride. It was hard focusing on the forces while your lap bar is constantly digging into your thighs, but they surround your legs if you're a kid. But overall, it's pretty solid, but nothing to write home about. So for Phoenix Rising's final score, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. It's on the edge of being good and okay, but I much prefer the Vekoma suspended coasters like Dragonflyer at Dollywood over this. That ride is way smoother than Phoenix, but it is a little shorter by a couple seconds. But as for how many rides I got on it, only one. And it wasn't nice, so it made the ride experience a little better, but it was placed towards the middle of the train. But to wrap this up, it's a solid family coaster, but I wish Busch Gardens went for Vekoma instead of B&M. It's probably because of Freedom Flyer. It's because Busch Gardens Tampa is located an hour and a half away from Fun Spot. But anyway, I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on Phoenix Rising? And if you enjoyed this review, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. The channel's goal for this year is to reach 700 subscribers before 2026, and it would mean a lot if you took the time to support the channel. But you can expect a new video coming out in the next 5 days, and keep that adrenaline pumping, and thanks for watching.